Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my project plan update for the month of October and I'm super excited. Can you guys believe that it is October? I mean, this year and all the years really just continue to get quicker and quicker in how fast they just fly by. That said, today is my October update for my project pan, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about it. We have 4 rollouts this month, which is exciting, but also like I had to really think of some products that I might be able to complete in the next 2 months because I definitely did not want to roll in long haul products in October. That said, I do think that probably 1, maybe even 2 of them are going to be long haul products because you just don't use very much of them at a time. But I do use them pretty much every day. So we will see. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. This is my self-care. Ultimately, I'm out here just talking about makeup because I just love it so much. I'm hoping that you also love it so much and you'll want to subscribe before you go. I hope that if you do that you also hit the notification bell so that you're updated every single time I upload a video. And that said, let's roll into this project pan update. I'm so excited about it. My table here is kind of a mess. I've been doing some crazy amount of filming today, and I did 2 intros to videos before doing this video, and then have the rest of those videos to do maybe tomorrow. I have probably 3 more videos that I have to get recorded between now and tomorrow. I do batch film. I try to, like, if I come to you in this shirt, the next video that I do in this shirt will be later on in the month or whatever. I try to kind of meander them through the month so that I am not showing up in the same shirt for 10 videos in a row. But my eye makeup's the same. Sometimes I just don't redo my eye makeup. That is just what it is. I don't want to put on makeup 15 times a day and waste my products. Although maybe I should. Maybe that'd help me with this project pan stuff. But all that to say, my desk is really a mess right now because I've been batch filming. Let's roll into these products. Super fun. First of all, I am trying to read my spreadsheet off of my phone. I don't do that very often because I'm blind, but my computer just won't fit on my desk right now. That is why the tangent about my messy desk. So I'm going to try to start with the one that rolled in the earliest in this. We no longer have anything that rolled in January or February or March in here, but we do still have stuff that rolled in April. So for the first one, we have this. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is a really lightweight, beautiful, breathable, moves with your skin kind of skin tint formulation that was made for your face and body, hence the name Face and Body. I did buy it in the shade 3N when I first purchased it because way back then, I lived in Eastern Washington and I got quite a bit of a tan during the summer, and this actually matches me when I have a tan. I haven't had a tan in almost 2 years since I moved here. Anyways, 1.5 years. So this no longer matches me. So it is a product that I've been having to mix with other products. I currently am mixing it with its counterpart concealer that is also in my deck of panning. And I also have a white mixer that I can put into it. What I don't love about using the white mixer is because this formulation is super thin, I do find that that white mixer kind of changes the formulation of this. Not that it means that I don't like it on my skin, I just don't love it on my skin as much as I love the product in and of itself. So I am trying to mix it with its own concealer so that the formulation stays roughly the same. The concealer is a tad bit thicker, but also fair, and this is 3N. With that said, this is where I am sitting with this one today. I have seen a pretty, consistent amount of use in it over the last several months since it's been in. It did roll in April at 52 grams, and today we are looking at it at 43.37 grams. So we have almost used 10 grams of product in this little tiny amount of product that we have used. I still have approximately half-ish of the bottle of this foundation to use. This is definitely not going to be a foundation that leaves my collection this year, but you know, I'm excited because it is potentially a foundation that will leave my collection next year. And it is currently one of the oldest foundations that I have in my collection. The next product that still remains from April is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Wand in the shade Pink Gasm, which is actually a blush. And I did use this up entirely, you guys. When I first rolled this in, you guys know I struggled to get any use out of it, but it is open. I did open it, and when I push on the top, like nothing comes out of that. That is a dry wand. And I have to say I'm excited about it. I did use like the remnants of the wand because there is a little bit of remnants on the wand, right? I did use it today. I do have it topped with a powder foundation as well. I found that that was the easiest way to use it. Maybe a little bit of underpainting. I think I got that as a hot tip from one of you in the comments section. So thank you so much for that. Underpainting isn't something that I normally do because I just find it to be just an extra step in my makeup application that I frankly don't need. As a person with super dry skin, I don't really need to lay down like a cream formula and then a powder on top of it. I can lay a cream down and get just as much longevity out of it as I do a powder because my skin isn't oily. It doesn't like fade away and it doesn't like go anywhere, right? So I don't really need to lay it down, but it was a great way to get the usage out of it. It started in April, like I said, at 11 grams. Last month it weighed 9.40 grams, and this month it weighs 6.64 grams and is empty. I can't get anything else out of it. When I first rolled it in, I hated using it, so it was a slow moving little dude, and it was pretty full when I first rolled it in. I mean, I think I had used it maybe twice. What I will say is this little tiny thing did see, like once I did start using it, it did see quite a bit of usage in 1 month because we lost a giant air bubble. And then again last month as I was trying to squeeze the rest of it out, there was another air bubble that kind of passed through. So I think that it feels like it shouldn't have went this fast, but I mean, ultimately I've been using it pretty consistently since April. So dunzo. And I'm so excited about that because I think I have a full-size version of that I got in gratis. The next one is also an empty. This has been in since May. This is the Makeup by Mario Mauve Glow Gloss. And last month, I told you that I thought I had maybe 1 more month of use out of it. And what I didn't really realize is that I couldn't roll it up. It's one of those that you can't like retract, right? So once you push it up, you can't pull it back in. So you have to be very, very careful and only push up a little bit at a time. When I showcased it last month, I hadn't like necessarily spun the dude, so I didn't know that it wasn't clicking. But after filming that video, I put some of this on my lips and went downstairs, and the next morning I tried to put it on before I jumped onto one of my work videos, and it didn't make the noise that it normally makes when you're clicking it up. And I was like, there's something wrong. Is it broken? Well, I decided to dig it all out. It lasted me about 4 days after I filmed my last video. I did finish this on my birthday, was the last day that I wore this, so on the 4th of September. It rolled in May. Last month, I have it weighing 10.83 grams, And this month empty is still weighing 10.37 grams. And it is, like I said, I did dig it out. I don't typically dig out lip products either. So I really do love this formulation of lip gloss. And it's got a little bit of a tingly nature to it as well. So it does a little bit of a plumping. Ultimately, I just think it makes your lips look super juicy and plump. So I don't really think it plumps your lips, but I do think it's beautiful. I do have another one of these that I purchased a while ago. So I'm really super excited to break it out and open it up, start using it. Mauve Glow, initially I liked it a lot, but as I used it more, I feel like it was maybe a little bit more warm toned than I liked for myself. I do like a pretty decently cool toned lip color on me just because I feel like all the warm tones on my lips turn more coral, and I think I look not great in coral lip. The next product that is still in is a product that we brought in June. It is a lip liner. I do think that we probably maybe only have one more month with this sad guy because it's obviously showing its age. I do love the lip liner formula of this, or did once upon a time. I love Huda Beauty lip liners. I think that they are wonderful, but this one is maybe lost some of its pizzazz, and I know it's one of the oldest lip liners that I have in my collection. So this is where I am at currently. This is the Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Trophy Wife. And I mean, listen, I have used the poop out of this guy, but I also know that the last couple months specifically, every single time I sharpen it, it just kind of crumbles underneath the sharpener. And I don't necessarily think that crumble is the right word because it's not dry. It's still super emollient, I think. Super creamy, but it doesn't like hold its form in the sharpener, I guess, is where I'm trying to go with this. That said, I have, you guys can see, taped the bottom of this just so that I have a little bit of extra grippiness to it when I am trying to sharpen it. I noticed the other day when I was sharpening it that I could barely turn it in the sharpener anymore. I do think that the sharpener is hitting the edge of the tape, which is of course going to get in the way, but I need the tape on there because if I don't have the tape on there, I can't get it out of the sharpener. So there's that. It is approximately the same size as its lid. I know that it's on its last leg, and I don't foresee this still being a part of my collection after the next update. So as I said, this did come in June. In June, my scale didn't weigh pencils, so I wasn't weighing pencils. But I do have a picture of where it was in June. I also have my little tracker over here where I'm marking what it looked like and kind of showcasing for you. In my spreadsheet, I did start weighing it for the first time in July, and in July it did weigh 4.45 grams. Last month's update it weighed 3.16 grams, and this month it weighs 2.35 grams. So I'm not necessarily sure that that is an atrocious amount of usage. I do think that it is a decent amount of usage, but I mean, it's been pretty consistently the same amount of use over the last several months, and I do know that I'm losing quite a bit of it in the sharpener, but I also am consistently using it. It is what is on like the corners of my lips today. I use it because it is the darker one to contour the outskirts of my lips, and use the other lip liner that's in this as an inner portion lips, but I don't imagine that'll be with us again next month. The next product is also another empty. This is the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. And this guy was brought in August at 38.4 ounces. Last month it weighed 38.21 ounces, and today, empty, it does weigh 37.03 ounces. And I feel like there's probably a level of concealer that is still in here along the walls just because of the shape of the product. But you guys can see the wand. It is pretty much dry and clean. And I did take the stopper out of it, even though it doesn't look like it. This hole is so small. I myself can see all the way straight through it to the bottom, to the light at the end of it. So I do know that it's empty. I did think that I would have a much longer time frame with this product than I actually did once I brought it into the project pan, but I also know that as a concealer it wasn't working for me. It was just far too dark for like my under eyes, which is where I wear concealer most of the time. So I did start using it as an all over the face kind of foundation product, and that's how I ended up finishing the product. So I know that when I rolled it in here though too, it wasn't a completely full product. It was a concealer that I had had in my collection for a couple years at that point, and a concealer that I did like quite a bit. So I had used it quite a bit at that point in time, but it is I think another concealer empty, and that is exciting for me. These two products were already part of my makeup rehab. I think they were part of my September update for my makeup rehab because they were emptied at the very beginning of September. The next one I have is the Zoeva lip liner. So this is the other lip liner that I have in rotation, and this is the lip liner that I wear on the center of my lip looks because it is a little bit lighter than the Huda Beauty one. What I notice about this one is approximately the same age as my Huda Beauty one, but this one's longevity has just outlasted. Like, it still smells like fresh pencil shavings. Like, it's not super dry. It's actually really moist. And putting this on after having just put this on, I realized that this one isn't as emollient and creamy as I stated it was. It was actually kind of dry to get it on my skin. This one goes on very easily. I don't have to press super hard to get it on. I don't have to like fuss and budge and finesse it to get it to do what I want it to do. And it is just a perfect like inner lip area shade to partner with that Trophy Wife shade, because it's like its perfect lighter counterpart. This is in the shade Earthbound, and it did roll in August at 3.31 grams of product, and last month it weighed 3.24 grams of product, and this month it weighs 3.00 grams of product. So we have lost 0.24 grams of product in the last month, but I haven't been overusing this. I just think that I have been using it a lot more. Honestly, trying to get this one out of my collection has made me use this one also more because they marry together quite well. The next item is the Laneige lip treatment. I have to be honest, I maybe used this twice since the last update. This is the Laneige lip treatment. I forgot all about it. I need to go put it down on my desk so I use it throughout the day. I think once I used it down by my desk, then I put it in my go bag, and then I forgot all about it in my go bag until today when I was going to pull things for this video, and I pulled it back out and used it today. So it's been used all of twice. This is the Laneige lip treatment mask, not to be confused with the lip sleeping mask. This is more heavy duty, a little bit more emollient and thicker, much thicker. It was rolled in August at 40.13 grams of product. Last month it weighed 40.00 grams of product, and this month it weighs 39.95. Like I said, I used it 2 times, and 2 times only. And honestly, you don't need a lot of this, so it's not going to showcase any kind of weight loss in 2 uses for sure. And then the next product is the Makeup by Mario Sculpt Stick, which is the second one of these that I've had empty, and one in Project Pan earlier this year. This one is in the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector glass container, which is amazing. I have another one of those that I just decluttered through Shop My Stash that I need to empty out and use for a container. This is a really great container to have. This is what it currently looks like. There is a little bit of a dip forming, but ultimately this is huge, and I use a fairly large brush in here when I am using it to put it on my face. This is in this component. I know that if you've been around, you've probably heard it 100,000 times and are tired of it, but this is in this component because my original Makeup by Mario component broke. And when it broke, I did end up having to put it into 2 different containers. The other one was not an airtight container, so I did empty that at the beginning of this year through Project Pan, and now I'm just working my way at this one. But I did put it into 2 different slots in my inventory, so it did count as 2 different items at that point. It went from 1 item to 2 items, and then 2 different things. I just want it out of my collection at this point because I'm pissed off at having to look at this versus its original component. But I do love this product. It is a really, really great bronzing and contouring stick. I love it specifically for contour. I am wearing it today. It goes beautifully under anything I put over the top of it. So I really truly love it. And I would buy another one. I just hate that the component broke. I didn't have it in my collection for very long before that component broke. So this one did roll in August at 47.43 grams of product. I think I said last month it weighed 47.28. This month it weighs 47. We're still just chugging along. The next product is my 4th and final empty in Project Pan for this month, and it is my Charlotte Tilbury Glow Wand and Spotlight. Now, when this one rolled in, it wasn't even remotely close to full. I had been using the poop out of it. I love this highlighter so much. The last time use, much like the blush, was today. I am just using the remnants of what is left on the little doe foot dude here. But when I open it up and I try and push it out, there is nothing. There's nothing that comes out of here. So I do know, and it weighs approximately the same amount as the other one. I do think that this one also suffered from an air bubble or 2. I recall specifically one giant air bubble getting it to empty, to be honest, but this just rolled in. In August, it weighed 10.71 grams when it rolled in. Last month, it weighed 9.16. This month, it's empty at 9.58 grams, with today being the last time I used it, right before I weighed it. It is beautiful. It's just a beautiful, like, see me from the moon, but so natural highlight. It just sits on the skin so beautifully. It doesn't like create texture of any kind or draw attention to texture of any kind. I really do love this, and I have a full size in my that I got in gratis last year, so I'm so excited to have the mini out of my collection now, and these are going to be showcased in the makeup rehab. So really super excited for 2 more makeup empties that you guys haven't seen yet. We have 3 more products to go. I don't know how we ended up with 12 products in this, if I'm honest with you, but whatever. First we have this one, which is the Ofra Blush Goudet. This is in Winter Rose. This is what it's looking like now. This is one of the oldest blushes that I have in my collection. It did come to me through BoxyCharm or Ipsy or something like that. I cannot remember. I honestly haven't used this very much over the last month. I think that you'll see that in the weight. In August, when we brought this in, it did weigh 7.10 grams of product. Last month, it weighed 7.07 grams of product. This month, it weighs 6.90 grams of product. Used it more than the previous month, but definitely still not using it very much. I don't know. I don't know that I love this blush. And I think this blush was a blush that I had 2 of. And I don't know how I ended up with 2. Maybe because my mom used to share her BoxyCharms with me. She used to give me all kinds of stuff. So maybe I had 2 because of that. I did declutter one at the beginning of the year and decided to keep the other one, the one that I had used. But I don't know. I don't know if I love it enough to keep it. But listen, my friend My friends in this space have been doing a heck of a lot of like Franken planning. Like when I think of the friends that I'm inspired to do this from specifically, it's Aaron Taylor and Andy. And I don't know why I'm just not a Franken panner. I don't like tearing makeup apart, but I know that I have some blushes or some even highlighters in my declutter bin over there, because everything that I've ever decluttered in my collection is in a bin over there, unless it was like a cream or something and needed to go into the garbage for anybody who wants to come in and dig through it. I know I have blushes or even deep highlights in that declutter bin that I could mix with this and potentially turn into a shade that I would love. So maybe I'll think about doing that at the end of the year. For now, we're going to keep on keeping on with this guy. And I mean, 6.90 grams is what I have on that right now. Blushes take forever to finish, so I knew that that was going to be the case with that one anyways. For the second foundation that I have in this project pan, it is the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus. I am in the shade 40N. I do think it would be possible for me to put another line there, and I wanted to let it settle for you so that I could like showcase where I'm at with you. But I've only used this twice since the last update because I've been super hard focused on that Dior foundation. I don't know why. It's also not going to be done at the end of the year. This one definitely won't be done at the end of the year. Although I do think that this one has more potential to be done by the end of the year because I love this foundation and I can use it on its own. I don't really necessarily have to mix it with anything. I think I wore it on its own and I Get Ready With Me not that long ago, and I don't think I mixed it with anything then. It's in the shade 40N if I didn't say that. I did bring it in last month in September and it did weigh 128.86 grams of product. I've used it twice, as I said, and this month it's weighing 128.07 grams of product. I think that's a lot for 2 uses, but maybe I've used it 3 times and I miscounted. That said, it's not going anywhere. It'll be probably a long haul item. It will be with us until the middle of next year likely, but it will probably be a product that I roll into my 50 items I want to pan or my plan to pan for 2025 because it is one of my older foundations. The last item that I have brought in so far is the LOC eyeshadow stick in Champagne Problems. I did bring it in September. It did weigh 8.03 grams of product in September when I brought it in, and this month it weighs 7.73 grams of product. I've used it 5 times. I've sharpened it once. I don't think it is much smaller than it was when I first rolled it in. It doesn't take much to sharpen it. You know, I did initially have this on my plan to pan for 2024, as well as its other counterpart. There are 2 of them in my collection because it's one of the longest living like eyeshadow sticks in my collection, but this is still so creamy and beautiful, and this is it right here. So just impactful. It lasts for a long time. It is just, it's beautiful. And when you kind of like blend it out, it just goes over your skin like a second. Like I could use this as a highlighter. I've used it as a brow bone. I've used it as an inner corner. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's a really beautiful, like cool tony, champagne-y, almost kind of pinky, like highlight. It's just pretty. I am really excited that I brought it in and to get some usage out of it because honestly, my eyeshadow sticks, unless I pull them into my Shop My Stash or my project pan, they just don't get used. So really happy to have brought it into this project pan and getting some use out of it, and to know that it is still performing in the way it's performing. And I have changed my mind. This will not be decluttered at the end of the year. So now I have 4 empties, right? I have these 2 empties that I just emptied out today, and these 2 empties that I emptied out early in September, like right after we filmed our last project pan update. So I have 4 empties and I need to bring in 4 items. And I don't know why I'm doing that, because that will keep us at 12 items, and I don't know how we got at 12 items, but we are, and I am, and hopefully I will be able to blow through these. I'm bringing in some products that I think maybe one or two of them are going to be long-term items, although I do use them every time I put on my makeup, or almost every time I put on my makeup. So I do think that those stand a chance of getting a heck of a lot of use between now and the end of December. The other two products I think are going to be easy to finish. So let's start with the Clinique Chubby Stick in the shade Whole Lotta Honey. So this was in my Shop My Stash, and you may or may not have seen the update to that yet, but I did say in that video I love this shade, and this would be a really easy shade to project pan. The great news about those chubby sticks is they look giant, right? Because they're a pencil, big fat pencil. But this is all the product. This is it rolled all the way up. This is all the product that is in there. So I do think that this isn't going to be hard for me to use. I like this product because it's got a really nice, like neutral, easy to use, kind of rosy neutral shade to it. It's like kind of a pinky brown. It is a really great shade on my lips. I love it also as a cheek product. It doesn't remain tacky for the most part as a cheek product. It could if you go straight in with the pencil, but if you put it on with a brush and just kind of stipple it on, it doesn't remain tacky. And that is it, like kind of blended out. So that's kind of what it looks like as a blush on your face. So I will be bringing this in to kind of replace the lip product, even though it's also a cheek product. This is, like I said, the Clinique Chubby Stick in Whole Lotta Honey. It is rolling in today at 15.27 grams of product, and I also have it sketched out in my tracker, so you'll be able to see where it's at. The next one I am bringing in is an eyeliner. I haven't had an eyeliner in here in forever, but it is one that I got in gratis, I think, and I have really just been using it almost every single day as my tight line, and I really love it for that purpose. So why not bring it in? It's not used in a very large space, but it is used often and frequently, and it is the Lancome Drama Liquid Pencil in black. So this is what it looks like right now, and like I said, I am using it every single day in my tight line. It is a sharpenable pencil, which I love about it, because I like it when an eyeliner is sharpenable so that you get that nice tight line. The thing about it is that I'm not using it for tight lines, I'm using it for tight lining. So I do like it to be a little more dull when I go up in there and try and tight line my eyes, so it doesn't like poke me or anything. But I have used the poop out of this since receiving it in gratis earlier this year, I think in April this year when I went to FLC. And it used to be a full-size pencil, and now it's about the size of what you would think a mini would come in. So this did weigh in at 4.04 grams. Today, I also have it on my tracker, so you're going to be able to see all the things. And I cannot wait to potentially in the year with a nubbin in for that eyeliner. Although I will say it has taken quite some time for it to get from full size to this size, and full size is probably about this long, right? It did take forever for me to use it. You don't need a lot. It goes on, it glides on so smoothly. It's such a beautiful, wonderful tight line eyeliner. I would use it on my lower lash line too if we were back in, you know, the time and day when I used black on my lower lash line. But I mean, sometimes I do, but not often. And again, it doesn't take much, and I would just smudge it out. It's such a beautiful eyeliner, and it doesn't like transfer. So this one is one of the ones that I said I use pretty much every single day, but it might take a while to still finish it. This is the other one I use pretty much every single day, but it's probably going to take a while to finish it. This is the ABH Eye Primer, and this one did weigh in at 9.41 grams of product as I'm rolling it in. I do have it marked there with the blue. It's going to be hard to see because it is silver, but when I fold it over, that is approximately where that line is. So I do think that there's probably an air bubble in here, but I also think that that is probably pretty accurate. I use eye primer every single time I do my eyeshadow, except for maybe once or twice a week when I am like testing an eyeshadow palette to see how it performs on an unprimed eye. Other than that, I use eye primer every single day. This, however, doesn't take much. Like the eyeliner, you only need it for, I mean, you use this in a much larger space, but it is also liquid, so it covers more area. You don't need very much of this product, but I do use it every day. So this likely won't be gone at the end of the year, but I will be happy to just kind of barrel through it. It'll be nice to just have a regular everyday eye primer in my drawer. And then the last thing that I am rolling in is this. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Puff. Now, this I really do feel like is probably an item that will roll out next month. This is an item that is a mini, first and foremost. It didn't take me very much use to get it to this point right here because of the air bubbles that are in it. And I mean, even just moving it around in here, I can feel that there's another air bubble in there. I will likely get 4 or 5 uses out of this before it rolls out of my collection, but it will be an item, a makeup empty that takes up a space in my makeup inventory that will be an empty from my makeup inventory. So again, Glossier Cloud Paint in Puff. It's rolling in today at 5.66 grams of product, and it is just a mini that I got in a set at Christmas time last year. I did put the other one that I got in that set in the giveaway that just is going to be going out from my collection, I do believe, or in a giveaway. I can't remember which giveaway it went into, but that said, that is it. You got my 4 new items, my 4 rollouts, which I'm so excited to have 4 rollouts. Another concealer empty, another lip empty, a blush and a highlight empty. Amazing sauce. They might be minis, but they were still a line in my inventory. So it's exciting sauce to me. What are you guys working on? I would be interested to hear from you guys down in the comments section about whatever it is that you're panning, whatever it is that's bringing you joy in your panning journey this year. I have emptied so many products and I'm so proud of myself because I have a goal of emptying 50 makeup products this year. And I think that we'll hit it. I really do think that we'll hit it. Maybe not through Project Pan, but we definitely, I think, have 50 makeup empties. Last year we had 46. We were so close. This year, that's what we're aiming for. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit your girl up down in the comments section. I would love to hear from you guys down there. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. I hope that you are all well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life right now. And until next time, bye friends.